All the base metal prices on the London Metal Exchange, with the only exception being tin, were on the upside today, as investors wait to see if Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will give guidance on the pace of US monetary tightening in testimony to the Congress at the beginning of 6 p.m. this afternoon. Signals from the Federal Reserve that it would start to raise up the interest rates sooner than expected sent metal prices and prices of riskier assets like equities and metals tumbling down last week. On the other side, they also boosted the US dollar, making, of course, metals costlier for buyers outside of the United States. If we have a look at the current 3-month prices on the LME, we can see that copper has regained quite well, more than 1.5% plus, trading at $9,320 a ton. Aluminium is up by 0.6%. The 3-month price is trading at $2,417.50. Zinc is trading at $2,856 a ton. That's a plus of 0.5%. Nickel is up by 1.8% and is therefore the biggest gainer today, trading at $17,800, while lead is up by 0.3%, trading at $2,170 a ton. And as I said, the only loser today is tin, which is losing only 0.2%, trading at $30,195. Regarding copper, interesting statement from an analyst from Saxo Bank. He says, we're seeing a healthy correction. The uptrend at around $8,700 provided technical support, and underlying fundamentals still point to higher prices. That's what he said. JP Morgan said copper prices have peaked in Q2 and will ease into the second half of the year as the recent demand recovery moderates and supply improves. JP Morgan maintain their year-end target price of $7,500 for copper. China's domestic market shows every sign of a glut. That's what they also said. It's quite interesting also on the news today that the Chinese State Reserves Administration said they would publicly auction 20,000 tons of copper, 30,000 tons of zinc and 50 tons of aluminium through tenders on July 5 and 6. And the policy is aimed at limiting the price rises. Regarding surplus and deficit, it's interesting to see that the copper market was in a deficit in March, while in April nickel and zinc markets were in a deficit and lead was oversupplied. That's what some study groups said, which are tracking the supply and the demand. Regarding nickel, as I said, it was the biggest gainer today. The stainless steel additive was back to levels we've seen a week ago. That was also supported by some dip buying after we saw a fall of 7.2% last week. And also while the data of the International Nickel Study Group showed that the global nickel market was in a deficit of almost 35,000 tons during the first 4 months of this year. On the currency side, no really big movements ahead of the Fed meeting of Jerome Powell's statements. The euro against the dollar is struggling around the level of 119. It has been above it during the day. Right now it's slightly down. As I said, everybody is waiting for Jerome Powell to give his statements.